All right, guys, so this is a question I get a lot from a lot of people, and I see it a lot in different forums and things of that nature, and I've answered it a few times in what I would call a very politically correct way. So I'm going to actually come at it, though, this time from the perspective of just some guy who's been training for a long time. Guys, my name is Bill Jones. I'm the head instructor of top-level martial arts in beautiful downtown Cuyahoga Falls. I am a black belt under Master Pedro Sauer, and you're watching Professor's Corner. So, guys, I'm in beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio right now. You can see, let me see if we can get a view of that's Kings Island behind me. It's a pretty big amusement park. I'm currently at Great Wolf Lodge with my family. But this question comes through a lot. I hear it all the time, and it is, should I take days off of training because of like mental stress or because of physical problems or whatever? And I've talked about this in the past. Like, if you have an injury, like an actual injury, I of course would defer to medical, professionals. But now I want to approach this from the standpoint of not only someone who's been training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for 15 years now, but also martial arts in general since I was 5. So that's 35 years now. God, I'm old. So for 35 years, I've been training martial arts. I have 4 black belts. I have multiple teaching certifications. And on top of that, I was a soldier. I was deployed to Iraq. Fortunately, my tour of duty wasn't that egregious. I didn't see anything crazy or anything like that. We got mortared a few times, some rocket fire, a couple landmines, some other really small incidents. But, I wasn't kicking down doors or shooting anybody, thankfully. But, even with that training, it gives you a different thought process on things. And, so here's how I'm coming at this. The question came in, like mental stuff. I'm going to be honest, I don't even know really what that means. Like you're having a bad day and it's rough and, you just feel like giving up and crying, so you skip class. I don't think that's going to help anything. And, one of the things I notice, and in my opinion, is not only should you go to class, you should roll like a fucking animal that day. Like, just go after it, because there is no way that the stress of life can be on your mind while you're rolling for your survival. And I'm not talking about like just rolling like light or whatever. Those are the days that you need to go in and kill it. You need to tell everybody you're rolling, hey man, let's kill it. Because I had a bad day. I want to forget all about that for 20 minutes, half an hour, however long your training session is when you're rolling. I think those should be your toughest training days. They should be your most get down, gritty and dirty and just murder it training days, because you need that. That's how you're going to get rid of the stress of those days. And that's the mental fortitude that has gotten me through military training. It's the mental fortitude that's gotten me through 35 years of martial arts. There has never been a time when I shouldn't say never, rarely been a time. When I say rarely, I mean in 35 years, I can think of maybe 3-4 times that I was so mentally broken that class couldn't help. That's out of 35 years. So if you're, in your first year of training and, you're like skipping because, the day was hard and, life's stressful and everything, guys, that's why you go. It will build you up for that. It will teach you how to be stronger mentally. That's my opinion on the mental side of it. Now, if you go to a psychiatrist and they say, get away from everything and whatever, I am not a doctor. I'm not going to tell you what a doctor would say. If you follow your medical advice. So let's talk about actual injuries. So whatever it is, broken arm, injured neck, sprained ribs, whatever. You've got all these kinds of injuries that you get. Most of them, number one, most people come in and they're injured not because of something that happened in class, but because of something that happened outside of class. One of the most recent ones was a guy showed me this picture of his ankle. It was the size of a softball. I'm like, oh man. And I'm thinking, man, did he get wrist locked or did he get leg locked or something? I'm like, what happened? He's like, oh, I twisted my ankle while I was trail running. And I always joke because it's usually like, oh, I pulled my groin, trying to slide into home plate in softball. Oh, one guy, he got hurt in a wakeboarding accident. Wakeboarding, tore his shoulder. So I always joke with him and I say, man, you got to cut that dangerous stuff out and just stick to jiu-jitsu. But you're going to have injuries, whether they're from jiu-jitsu or from something else. It will 100% happen in your life that you get injuries unless you're some kind of freak of nature. So how do you deal with injuries? Well, I say the day that it happens and maybe the day after. Like for example, this is a great example. As we speak, my knee got hurt yesterday, day before yesterday. Yesterday. It was the day before yesterday. It was Monday. So we're on Wednesday right now. So it got injured Monday. And what it was I was applying a calf slicer and my knee popped. I'm applying the leg lock and my knee popped. So I immediately stopped rolling at that point, iced it, elevated it, that kind of thing, took care of it for the day. And I skipped the next day because I wanted to see what it felt like. Did it feel structural? I give it some time for the swelling to go down a little bit because I want to know what it feels like at that point. And now I can tell you that today, based on what I'm feeling, it's still painful, but based on what I'm feeling today, I would roll. I would train. And I would do things that would limit my ability, meaning that I wouldn't be using that leg very much. And if someone tried to pass to that side, I would simply let them go. And that means I might get tapped a lot, get to work on my defense from side control and from mount and the back. That's how I approach it. And it's the same thing. I've done it with my arm. I've had torn quadriceps, broken ribs, popped cartilage in my ribs, neck injuries. And when I have the neck injury, what do? It's like, oh, I have to quit because how am I going to stop them from touching my neck? Every time they touch my neck, I tap. I tell them ahead of time. I'm like, hey, you go to cross face me or anything like that, I'm probably just going to tap. My neck's all messed up. And everybody's really respectful of that, and they try to stay away from it. And you try to learn. Maybe they go after my legs more because of that. Everybody gets better because of these limitations. And I think that if you avoid class because of limitations too often, then you're going to become weaker. You're not going to reach your goals. You're going to wonder why you're not improving. And it's because you aren't learning to push yourselves through the really difficult times. Now, there are some definite caveats to my rule. If you're legitimately sick, you got the flu, you've got a cold that you could give somebody, stay off the damn mats. Don't go giving everybody your heebie-jeebies, guys. Nobody wants them. If it's an allergy, then fine, it's allergies. That's for you to know and talk to your doctor. But, if you've got a staph infection or something, make sure you talk to your doctor. If you've got warts, talk to your doctor. How contagious is this? What do I have to do to make it safe? I will tell you right now, poison ivy, 100% safe as long as you've washed the surface. It is not contagious. You can train with poison ivy. All right, guys. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you for watching. Do me a favor. Show it some love. Give us some thumbs up, likes, comments, all that kind of things. What is your thought process? I'm curious. Do you train when you're injured? Do you train when you're mentally weak? What do you do? All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Have a great one.